Hello, my name is Douglas Scott McCarron. I'm back again talking about my web series A Bit Twisted. Got a couple notes here. You know, I'm human, so don't want to forget anything. Before I go on about this web series that I've generated called A Bit Twisted, I want to give a shout out to a gentleman named David Burrows down in Lemon Grove. He has this great location that's about, I think it's 27 by 29 square feet. Without him, I would not have gotten my web series done. He is very friendly to artists. He gives a very reasonable rate to you if you're an artist or a movie maker. So I really recommend you look him up on Facebook. It's David Burrows, Burroughs, Senior on Facebook. So check him out if you're in Lemon Grove, California, or coming this way. So I want to talk to you about some of the supporting characters in A Bit Twisted. We talked about the main ones last episode. The main character named Nestor. There's Elliot. And there's Jack. Now, there are also a couple of detectives that are involved in the story. Detective Black and Detective Adult. Black is a very much a man who wants to bulldoze through life, not look at anything, and pretty much just wants to be macho. Though he's also suffering through a divorce and questioning a lot of his life. Detective Adult is also trying to be a man's man, but he's a lot more introspective. He started seeing a therapist, and he just has a lot more questions that he brings up while they're hanging around. So between them, they talk about finding the serial killer and talking about life. The serial killer they're looking for is, of course, a man, because that's what their mindset looks like, but they could be wrong. There's also Frantastic. Frantastic is a lawyer. She's representing Detective Black in his divorce. She's also Elliot's boss. Now, Elliot is a lawyer who has women's issues. He thinks women are not as big and important as men. He thinks it's a man's world. Fran does not agree. She thinks men are, something to be belittled and run down, and she thinks women are going to take over the world. Elliot gets to stew under this because he knows he can't really talk up because she'll fire him. So it's a very interesting dynamic. They get a lot of good work done. There are also a bunch of agents from the agency. The first agent is Agent Price, played by Maribel Lopez. She's a shy woman. She's quiet. She appears meek, but she's very driven. And she wants to make her mark, so she's looking to arrest the serial killers. And well, she'll see what happens. There's Agent Balmer, played by Ari Huber. He's a guy who goes in and makes the hard arrest. But his history is, people are always concerned about him because he's constantly being reminded to make arrests, not to just shoot people. So, he's another man's man. And he's pretty sure it's a guy that he's looking for. Let's see, who else we got here? We got the assistant director, who is a voiced-in character played by Lolly Boroff, who, while she doesn't appear on screen, she's the one who assigns the various agents their jobs to go looking for the serial killers. And there's also an analyst from the agency, it's called Agent Milano, and she's played by Najee Sampson. She keeps insisting that the evidence points toward a woman using a bayonet. But she's constantly dismissed, especially by the detectives. She has a lot in common with the main character because, she keeps getting dismissed by men. And it annoys her because people keep getting killed and she's like pointing in the right direction, but she keeps getting ignored. There are also 4 agents from the past who have been killed by a serial killer. They're played by Lauren Holliday, Austin Alberto, Jennifer Kay, and Steve Schuneman. Though the story is set in the present, there's a lot of references back to the past because the main character has a friend in the past that influenced her a lot. There's also a neighbor named Emily. Emily is a friend of the main character who's lonely and wants a friendship, but she keeps snooping in the main character's life, which isn't necessarily a good thing. Eventually Nestor has to get her out of her life, and she does so. There's Ares, who's a sociopath, and who also becomes the main character's boyfriend, much to both of their surprise. Like stranglers in the night who are like out slashing away, they keep becoming the loving couple. In a stabby sort of way. Ares is played by Derek Albert Mangan. So that's it for this video. Next video I'll talk about the other supporting characters. They're all very interesting. It's a very entertaining, interesting story, very insightful. Again, I'm Douglas Scott McCarron. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy the web series when it is released, which is coming soon. Again, it's called A Bit Twisted. Hope you choose to support it, because like most indie projects, your backing will really help. I'd like to go on to a second season, so it'd be really nice to have support building this thing up. You know, it's hard as an indie person to build your own channel, so, you know, there's a lot of, don't have the resources, say, of Sony Corporation, so it does take support from you all, so I do request it. Look for me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and MySpace. Again, thank you for your support, and as it comes out, I'll be putting out more outtakes, things like that. Probably put out a couple episodes for free so you can look at it. All right, thank you very much.